AI got me an 8.3 ROAS on my agency's ads. And I'm going to show you exactly the process that I went through so that you can do the exact same thing. And I'm going to be transparent. I'm going to record my screen here. And I'm going to show you the exact process that I went through. And then you guys can do the exact same thing. So I'll be transparent. We do have an in-house software that does all of this stuff for our team, but I did this one on GPT so that you guys could see how you can do it without, because you don't have access to my software, so you can't do it from there, but you can do it from GPT. And I'm going to show you the results that we got. I'm going to show you how much I closed, and I'm going to show you the cost for those specific exact results. So the first thing that I want to mention is that I will say that the way that I talk to ChatGPT is very conversational. I like to give it a lot of feedback. I like to really dive deep into exactly what I'm looking for. And so I send it a lot of information. My goal is to make it like this big brain of resources and information, so that when I ask it any question, it can kind of always reference that information that I've given it. And then even when I have ads that are winning ads, I'll come back and I'll tell them like, hey, this ad worked, this one didn't, and we'll come up together for the reasons why we think that is the case. But this is how I began the process. Literally, I did it all by myself, didn't use any team members except for the actual editing of the content. But I just said like, hey, I need to write some ad copy for my company, Dominus. I'm going to send you a bunch of information on our offer and my content. It's like, great, let's go, let's do it. So I said, Dominus does lead generation for agencies and info products, people who sell courses, community services to make money, etc. We only work with high-level clients that are already making $1 million a year in revenue, but that need help with their funnels, creatives, ads, and sales systems like GHL. Here are some of the landing pages that we are currently running. These are the exact landing pages that we're still running. One is actually just our homepage. So that you can understand a bit more about our objections, our ICP, and details of what we do. I'm going to send you over a bunch of content here. Here are a bunch of my YouTube scripts, right? If you don't have YouTube content, perfectly fine. Just send them whatever you have, and I'll show you all other things that you can send them. So I have sent them over a bunch of transcripts. These are just the transcripts, obviously, because it can't comb through the videos in our software. We just upload the direct link to the video. But here we have to go through and actually put the transcript. So pardon me as I scroll down. All right. And then I said, analyze this content and remember it. Reply yes once you have, and I will send you more. And then I said, here are some podcasts where people have interviewed me about my personal life and business tactics. The reason for this is because the style of ads that I'm going for here are very kind of like lifestyle-esque. So I want them to kind of reflect my personality as well. I mean, everyone's selling lead generation, so I want something that's unique to me, unique to my strategies, unique to my style, unique to my specific tactics. So I'm feeding it all the information that I possibly can. And an important piece of information is like my personal story, all that kind of stuff, my tactics, all that. So I have a bunch of podcasts that I've been on that people have interviewed me on, and I upload the transcripts. And then down at the bottom, I said the same exact thing for the YouTube videos. Where I said, analyze this content, remember it, and reply yes, and I will send you more. I don't want it, all the fake stuff that, ChatGPT says. I just want to get through this part quick where I'm feeding it with information. And then I said, here are some transcripts from some sales calls. From these, you'll be able to see objections, how I overcame them, plus you'll be able to see more about the offer. These are gold, remember every single word. And at the end of each sales call, I even put whether or not that person closed. Now these are all organic sales calls because obviously I haven't run ads yet. That's why we're doing this. These ads are going to be run on a brand new account Never run ads before. Literally at the beginning, it has a budget limit that we'll be running on. And so these are all kind of organic sales calls that I've had, not coming from a cold. So that's kind of something that's important to note. Keep going, scrolling all the way down. A little bit more. Okay, same thing. This lead did close. Analyze all these calls and then reply yes once you're done. Perfect. Here's more information about Dominus. Once again, just feeding this brain. I want to give it all the information. I want it to like bathe in as much text as it possibly can. And I'll show you why I'm doing that. So, starving crowd. Agency owners running ads and not getting $74 book calls. Agency owners running ads but making at least $50K per month. Agencies depending on organic content. Agencies not being able to predictably grow each month. Info coaches depending on organic content, etc. You get the gist. That's kind of my starving crowd that I've identified. Our experience, walking through all of our expertise and what we've been able to accomplish, what we're trying to portray that we're the best at. Our offer. It's obviously a lot more vast as this, but they already saw most of that offer in the sales calls. So this is just kind of a summary of it, just to kind of reiterate. Noteworthy clients, and then we just send over these because they can use these in the ads of like, hey, we've worked with so and so, so we put the noteworthy clients in there. Some of our key values. So this is external core values that we have outwards, and then internal core values as well that we have inwards as like our pillars. So literally sent over all of that. And I said, in the future, I'm going to ask you to help me write things about Dominus and our offer. When I do, all of this content that I shared with you, YouTube, podcasts, sales calls, values, everything from the beginning of this chat until now, I will use the letters WWZD to trigger you to reference all of this information. Please analyze and store all of this info. Reply yes once you understand. If you have any questions for me right now to make things clear for you, please ask those now. I need you to consume as much as possible to be a master copywriter for Dominus so we can get more clients. Now, this part is key where I tell it to ask me more questions. The reason that part is key is because obviously ChatGPT is like, it's here to do what you want to do. So ChatGPT is like very much a yes man. So if you give it an opportunity to ask you questions, it will actually ask them if it has any doubts or if it needs further clarification. If you don't do that, it'll spit out answers whether it fully understands what you're trying to say or not. So in this case, it didn't ask me any questions, but I have had multiple times where it's like, oh yeah, I actually do need clarification on this, and this before I can actually help you out. So that's one of the hacks that I've learned with ChatGPT, along with feeding it feedback from what it's written, that is incredibly helpful, that a lot of people skip because it is going the extra mile, right? Like it's giving it more and more information. And honestly, the way that I kind of use ChatGPT, it's almost easier kind of to hire a copywriter or have them do it. But once you have the brain built, then that's where it's a time-saving situation. So yes, I've stored all this. If you want me to absorb anything deeper and there's anything specific you want me to pay attention to, let me know. I'm locked in and ready to be a master copywriter for Dominus. A little cheesy, but it's fine. We'll go with it. So here's where I actually start asking it things. So I said, I need help with writing some copy for my ad creatives. What I do is get a lifestyle image. This image would generally be a moody picture of me and my friends, maybe a nice dinner or fancy places with expensive cars. Then we overlay text on top of these images. The text generally has a good hook, the offer and the CTA, maybe some scarcity at the end. This then leads them to landing pages that I sent you above. They're generally between 30 to 60 words. You pick. This is important to do because if you give ChatGPT a range, it'll always do the maximum. It won't really pick. So if you tell it to pick, it'll actually give you like some that are like 36 words or 45 words or whatever. So this is generally how I create an offer. So I literally gave it my philosophy on how to create an offer. You can copy this if you'd like, or you can just tell it how you do it, or you can just tell it to use best practices. I just have a specific way of doing things, so I give it my exact blueprint of how I actually create offer. And I said, this is generally my philosophy for static images, for how I create the ad creatives. And I gave it that. Once again, you can tell it to use best practices, or you can copy this exact one and pause the video and take this, up to you. And here, I actually have videos on this on my channel too, of like my philosophy, so you can go there as well if you want to see more. Here's an example of copy from an entirely different offer that works very well, so that you can see the structure. Don't use any of the content for this offer. So this is one of my, if you've seen any of my content or heard me speak before, this is my #1 ad for like the past 3 years. It's maybe millions of dollars. I wrote it, and it was literally written for like a DM ad. And I think the original one literally says DM me. But this is literally an ad that we still run today. So I gave it just so that it has some context, like how we do things. Here we have a great hook, and we use pain. WWZD, for our ad creatives, we are starting with 2 audience, agency owners and info product owners. For both of these audience, write me these things. So now we're getting to the juicy part. 1, good hooks, good pain points, objections, examples of humor that we can use, and examples of clear CTAs with urgency and or exclusivity. Okay? And so that now it actually gives me all the information, and you can tell it's literally pulling from, you can't tell because you didn't watch all those videos, but it's literally pulling text from the videos and from the podcasts inside, like from the objections from the actual sales calls, like actual things. We've tried paid ads before and wasted money, like actual content from what I've actually said, which is crazy. But this is not what I took. I said, I have only read a few, but I can tell the tone is wrong already. Remember our core values. We use words like sophistication, elegance, excellence. Because we are higher class company, we want to have old money, fancy vibes, even in our copy. So I use the exact same ideas that you came up with, just change the tone and vocabulary, except for the humor, of course, because you can't make humor sophisticated. Got it. Let's do it. And so then they sent all of this to me. All of this I did take, but I still have some feedback, and I'll show you the document where I work through some of this. It's up there at the top. So I'll walk you through exactly my process of how I take this. But I said, here are the ones that I think are best for agency with my edits. So I did add a few things. Please remember these for later. So I sent them back. I picked my favorite ones for the agency side of the business, and then, hey, here are the ones for the info product owners, with some of my edits in there. I honestly didn't do much. Now that I have told you exactly how I want to write and the way that I like to write, mix and match everything here with my exact words and create for me 10 different sets of copy to put on my ad creatives, 30 to 60 words, 5 directed towards agencies, 5 towards info. Not every ad copy needs to have all the elements, but they all need to have hook and CTA. Use your best copywriting judgment to decide. WWZD if you need more words or info. Remember everything that we've talked about. If you have any questions or need more clarifications, please ask those questions now before you start writing. If not, right away. And then it literally combines them. So I'll show you my document. So I came in here and I organized the copy. I literally I have the agency copy here, the info copy, and then these are all the hooks. So I came in here, put all the hooks in here for both of them, put all the pain points, everything, put it in a list. And then I literally just started piecing them together. The ones that seemed to fit together well, the ones that I felt that were strong together, that told a good story. And then I also had ChatGPT do that. So it pieced them all together for me here. And then I took that and I said, give me 3 more ideas, right? And then I said, here's what I'm using in the end. So I did not change any of the text because it's already using my words. It's already using the edits that I had put in. And I used these exact ads. And I took this copy and I put it over the images, right? And so I said, now knowing everything in WWDD, please write me for 5 headlines and primary text for the ad copy on Meta. Didn't change these at all. Put these in verbatim. So I literally had it write the ad copy for me as well. It did the creatives. Those creatives I put over like lifestyle videos, and I also put them over static images. And I'll show you examples of what they look like the final product. But then I also had it do my ad copy for me. And I didn't change even a little bit of this. For Facebook headline, I just gave it some pointers of how to do it better. For primary text, this is what you should do. So then it changed those things up. I don't like these 2. I need 5 total, 2 that are around 200 and 3. So I just kept giving it feedback about the copy. I didn't really change any of the text though at all. These need to be triple the length. Now I need 3 this length and 2 that are 280 characters. It gave me all these. I just published all of these ads in the copy. I will keep you posted on how the ads do and track the progress so that we can create similar to the winners. I said this ad's performing well, so I literally gave it the number and the ad that was doing well, and then it literally shot back reasons that it was. How to perform better next round, and then I started using it for different things as well, for doing IG reels and stuff like that. But you get the idea. I just kept feeding back information. I kept showing what the winners were, etc. So now let's jump into the ad account and I'll show you exactly how it did. So this is the exact copy, like I said, that I put on there. I'll go through and I'll show you the exact creatives. I've only ran ads really off and on for about a month. I'm the one doing the closing for this. So ads are literally off right now because my calendar was entirely booked out, and there was no room. I don't have interest in hiring a closer for this business because it's important for me, the type of clients that we're working with. My close rate is around, I roughly calculate it's around like 50 to 60% since I'm the founder and I highly vet them before they even get on the call. But we've spent, as you can see, just $13,000, nothing crazy. I'll show you the pipeline too inside of GHL so that you can see the value as well. And then this is what it's costing for qualified book calls. So it's costing us anywhere between $124 to $169 per qualified book call. I only launched those 2 funnels. I haven't edited the funnels at all. Those funnels were written by our in-house software and by copywriters, so I know that they're done well. But these creatives are all strictly the ones that I wrote. So I'll show you the info ones and I'll show you the agency ones just so that you guys can see what the final product turned out to be. So this is, excuse me. Elite agencies aren't competing for leads. They have a waiting list. If your leads flow isn't predictable, it doesn't mean you need to boost more posts or reels or Twitter giveaways or whatever. Your client expects premium service. Shouldn't your lead gen match? Apply for the Dominus way, right? So the same copy, same stuff we wrote. Like I said, it was like lifestyle pictures. So there's like, come on, you can load, promise. So it's like pictures of, at dinner, maybe pictures of me on stage, and then it just has the text over top. We even tested just like some plain ones that don't have anything at all. I guess it's still me in the background, but more common type of ads. And then we've also done a lot of videos. And so the types of videos that we did were very similar to the images, or if you've seen the content on our organic content on Instagram, it's just those lifestyle videos and then it's just the text overlaid on top. There's some, random music in the background, but no voiceover, no nothing. And so that's the style we went for there. And as you can see, a lot of these we can even just go ahead and see what we got for you guys that are a little bit more nerdy and want to see the details. Let's go to results. There it is. Sorry. Been a while. So videos, as you can see, the videos did super well. We're just looking at 2 campaigns right now. Statics did well. That's the same video. Getting pretty good cost per qualified book call. Good amount spent. Some solid CPMs. You know what I mean? Not the best click through, but that's all good. I'm not super worried about that, not for high ticket stuff. So that's what the inside of the ad account looks like. Let's dive into the GHL, and then I'll show you exactly how much came through it. Because yeah, I mean, sure, oh, you got a 150 book call, but like, what does that actually result in? So if you're a closer, forgive me, 42 leads that came through. I don't track well and go high level. So I'm just showing you the opportunity value of like everyone that came through. Like I said, I closed somewhere around like 50-60% of these. And we only spent, what did we spend? I think we spent 13. I want to be fully transparent with you guys so that you can see like it worked and I'm not just making this up. So yeah, 142K, 43 leads, all qualified, vetted, meaning that they're making over $1 million a year, and they all showed up to the call. Well, I don't know actually if all of these showed up to call. Like I said, I don't track it well, but this is what came through, and it was all just from what I had done inside of ChatGPT. So the reason that I'm showing this video is, one, I want to give you like my insight on how I use GPT and how I kind of make it this brain and feed it. Custom AI is always going to be better than GPT. So if you can afford to have someone to build you something out and you build your own brain, then you don't need to feed it for every new project that you open up. The brain just has that capacity inside of it. So like when we onboard an agency, we get the specifics from them, we get their YouTube, we get their sales calls, but our brain is already fed with like the best practices. So it has the best funnels already in there. It knows what's working. It knows how to optimize spend, all that kind of stuff. So then it's a lot easier for us just to, give it what it needs, which is just the prompts, the proper prompts to be able to get the information out. So I recommend using custom, but if you can't, this still works, right? It still makes money. It still brings in sales calls. It's more involved. It takes more time, but it still works. So I encourage you to try this out for your own business. Instead of spending, $10K on an agency to do your lead gen for you, try this. You just need to pay. Like I just paid for a graphic designer and for a video editor to do those videos. And then everything else I did myself. Well, besides the landing pages, can't say that I did those, but those are easy to do. You can also do the same exact thing and have GPT come up with the copy for your landing page. And then you're good on that side of things as well. So try it out, test it. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you get any results from it. Obviously you won't see that for about a month or so, but it works wonders for me. And so I wouldn't show it if it was just hypothetical information. So appreciate your time. Many of you will watch this, but very few will actually take action on it. Cheers.